Lights inside the AT&T Center in San Antonio burned bright, washing the ring in a glow that promised drama. Thousands of fans leaned forward in their seats as the opening contest of Knockout Kings 2 prepared to begin. The energy inside the arena was thick with anticipation, the kind that only appears when two undefeated fighters are about to collide. In one corner stood the rising American star, Keith, one-time Thurman, a fighter who had spent nearly his entire life inside a boxing gym. Trained since his teenage years, Thurman had built a reputation as one of the most dangerous punchers in the welterweight division. His nickname wasn't just clever branding, it was a warning. When Thurman landed clean, the fight could end instantly. Across the ring stood a man who refused to be intimidated, Argentina's Diego Chaves. Tough, aggressive, and fearless, Chaves had once dreamed of soccer glory before turning his focus to boxing. Now he stood undefeated as well, carrying the pride of Argentine fighters known for their grit and resilience. Chaves wasn't here to admire Thurman's power, he was here to test it. Their records were similar, their size nearly identical, and both men believed deeply in the strength of their punches. The crowd sensed it. This fight wasn't going to be cautious or tactical for long. It would be violent, explosive, and unpredictable. As the introductions echoed through the arena, the tension grew heavier with each passing second. Both fighters stared across the ring, calm but focused, their minds locked on the same mission: remain undefeated. The bell rang, and immediately the atmosphere shifted. Gloves came up, feet moved forward, and the battle began with urgency. Thurman pumped his jab early, looking to establish dominance, but Chaves answered right back with a heavy right hand that cut through the air. The message was clear from the opening moments: neither fighter had come to play it safe tonight. First rounds unfolded like a storm breaking over the ring. Keith Thurman pressed forward with the confidence of a rising star, firing quick jabs and sharp counters while searching for that signature knockout punch. But Diego Chaves refused to give him the respect many opponents had shown. Instead of backing away, the Argentine stepped directly into the danger, throwing powerful hooks toward Thurman's body. Each thudding body shot echoed through the arena, reminding everyone that Chaves carried power of his own. The exchanges quickly became intense. Thurman snapped a crisp left hook across Chaves' guard, the kind of punch that had ended many fights before, yet Chaves barely flinched. His expression stayed calm, almost emotionless, as if the punch had only strengthened his determination. The crowd roared as both men continued trading heavy shots, right hands, hooks, and quick counters landing from both sides. It was clear this fight would not be a simple showcase for the American prospect. By the third round, the momentum briefly shifted in Chaves' favor. He stepped forward aggressively and trapped Thurman near the ropes, unleashing a series of combinations aimed at both the body and head. For a moment, the American star looked uncomfortable as the Argentine pressed his advantage. Thurman moved carefully, using his underrated footwork to slide off the ropes and regain space. The tension inside the arena grew as fans realized they were witnessing a real fight, not just a one-sided highlight reel. Thurman responded with smart counters, an uppercut here, a quick right hand there, reminding everyone that he possessed far more than knockout power. He had speed, intelligence, and the ability to adapt under pressure. By the end of the early rounds, the fight had become a fierce contest of styles. Thurman's explosive precision against Chaves' relentless aggression. Neither man had backed down, and the crowd sensed that the real turning point was still waiting somewhere. As the fight moved into the middle rounds, the pace shifted from wild exchanges to a more strategic battle. Both fighters had felt the power coming back at them, and now every move carried a layer of caution. Keith Thurman began using his jab more consistently, snapping it out like a measuring stick while circling the ring. His footwork became more noticeable, gliding around the perimeter to keep Diego Chaves from settling into his pressure. The American fighter was adjusting, proving he could box just as well as he could punch. Chaves, however, remained persistent. He continued to step forward with determination, digging hooks into Thurman's ribs whenever he found the opportunity. The Argentine's plan was clear: slow Thurman down, take away his movement, and drag the fight into a rugged brawl. Several times he managed to force Thurman toward the ropes, where short exchanges erupted in bursts of violence. The crowd erupted whenever these moments happened, sensing the danger in every punch thrown at close range. Round after round, the fight remained close. Thurman landed sharp right hands and slick combinations, while Chaves answered with body shots and relentless pressure. The statistics would later show just how competitive it had become, both fighters throwing nearly the same number of punches and landing at similar rates. This wasn't dominance, it was a chess match with knockout power on both sides of the board. Yet slowly, almost quietly, the momentum began leaning toward Thurman. His jabs started landing more often, disrupting Chaves' rhythm. A few clean right hands snapped the Argentine's head back, drawing loud reactions from the audience. Even when Chaves fired back, Thurman seemed slightly quicker, slightly sharper. The fight had turned into a test of intelligence and endurance. Both men were still dangerous, but the question hovering over the arena remained the same: when would Thurman find that one devastating opening? By the time the fight reached the later rounds, the tension inside the AT&T Center had become electric. Fans could feel that the battle was approaching its decisive moment. Both fighters had absorbed heavy punches, yet neither had surrendered ground. Keith Thurman continued pressing forward with increasing confidence, his jab setting the rhythm while he searched patiently for the opportunity to unleash something devastating. Diego Chaves, stubborn and fearless as ever, kept marching forward, determined to prove he belonged among the elite. Then in the 10th round, everything changed in an instant. Thurman stepped in and unleashed a crushing left hook to the body, a perfectly placed shot that landed deep beneath Chaves' guard. The impact was immediate. Chaves dropped to one knee, grimacing as the pain surged through his midsection. The crowd exploded into a roar as the referee began his count. For the first time in the fight, the Argentine looked truly hurt. Chaves rose bravely, refusing to surrender, but Thurman could sense the finish. The American star surged forward with controlled aggression, firing sharp combinations as he pushed Chaves back toward the ropes. Another powerful sequence followed, and a heavy punch sent the Argentine crashing to the canvas for the second time. This time the damage was too much. The referee stepped between them and waved his arms. The fight was over. The arena erupted in celebration as Keith Thurman raised his fists in triumph. Moments later, the official announcement echoed through the building. The winner by knockout at 28 seconds of round 10 and still undefeated, the new interim WBA welterweight world champion, Keith "one-time" Thurman. It was another statement victory for the rising star, a night that confirmed what the boxing world was beginning to realize. Sooner or later, Thurman always finds the punch that ends the fight, and when he does, it only takes one time.